Hello. Alrighty, looks like everybody's here, so let's knock this stuff out. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hamcar of Alaska Board of Directors meeting for May 14th, 2020. It is 8:01 p.m. for the official record. Calling this to order. Typing in the official numbers. Yay. So on the agenda, as I posted in the Spectators Lounge, we have acceptance of the previous meeting's minutes, removing old PMs from the bank accounts and adding new ones. Are there any last minute additions that I should add to that? All right, hearing nothing, I'm going to just jump straight into the first item on the agenda. Has the BoD all had a chance to look at the previous meeting's minutes? That should primarily include just us approving paying our taxes of $300 and something. I didn't actually open up the file right now, so I don't have it in front of me. I'm a bad person. Going back to click on it. Screw it. I looked at it, it looked right. So I make a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
Second the motion.
Cool. Rolling top to bottom. Or no, I'm just gonna go off my order that I have in my file. Loop and Moon, yay or nay?
Yes.
Astro Winds.
Yes.
KPM.
Yes.
I'm next, yes. Ravenstone.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Cool. Item 1 checked off. We all agree that 3 weeks ago we did a thing and we're paying our taxes. Awesome. All right, next item on the agenda, removing old PMs from the bank accounts. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Rollo. Can you give us the nitty gritty details of who and what, and just list it off and we'll get it official?
We're looking to remove Sean Fitzpatrick, Cameron Taylor, and Darcy McFowle.
Okay.
That'd be, Drasic, Corin, and Nymphin Valley.
I make a motion to remove those folks from our bank accounts.
Second.
Cool. Loop and Moon, yay, nay?
Yes.
Astro Winds.
Yes.
KPM.
Yes.
I say yes. Ravenstone.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Cool. All right, Rollo. Next item on the agenda is who are we adding and to what bank accounts? And let's be specific for the record. It doesn't have to be the account numbers, just the names of the accounts would probably suffice.
Okay, we're gonna add Jennifer Suter to the Ravenstone account, Jonathan Jacobs or Kraken to the Loop and Moon account, Christina Hunter or Aislinn to the Frozen Coast account. We don't have a Dark Lodge Crossing account yet, but I would also like to add a Dark Lodge Crossing account and add Zach Eberhardt or Majarsa to it.
Okay, we'll do that as two separate ones. We'll stick with the first three changes, and then I'll just add it to the agenda. We'll vote to add a new account, and then separately we'll add the person, or maybe together. But either way, we'll do that in a second. I make a motion to approve the 3 new prime ministers to their respective regional accounts.
Second.
Yay. All right, voting on it. Loop and Moon, yay or nay?
Yes.
Astro Winds.
Yes.
Resident Rollo.
Yes.
Myself says yes. Ravenstone.
Yes.
And Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Cool. Jumping straight to the next item. I think this one's pretty obvious. Give me a second to read tricks. Oh, absolutely. We get a lot more population directly in Discord versus on YouTube. All right. I'll just go straight to the motion. I make a motion to create a new bank account for our new region, Dark Lodge Crossing.
Seconded.
Cool.
I win.
Loop and Moon.
Yes.
Astro Winds.
Yes.
KPM.
Yes.
I say yes. Ravenstone.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
All right, cool. Can you repeat the name for the record for who we're adding to the DLC account?
He's Zach Eberhardt, and he's a Majarsa in this game.
All right, I make a motion to add Zach to the new account that we'll be creating.
I second that motion.
Awesome. Loop and Moon.
Yes.
Astro Winds.
Yes.
KPM.
Yes.
Yes. Ravenstone.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Awesome. That is all the agenda items I have for this evening. I will give it another 10 seconds of open air. Does anybody have anything they would like to add for the Board of Directors meeting?
I just want to note that we did mail the check out for the taxes about 2 weeks ago, so they should be.
Should be covered. Awesome. And that had an extension, so we're well within the timeline for that. So
Yep, absolutely. July 15th. We're good.
we're good. Any last minute things? I don't see anything happening in the chat. Sounds like Rosadeth is moving furniture. No. Okay, cool. So I make a motion to close the meeting for this evening.
Second.
Awesome. Loop and Moon.
Yes.
Astro Winds.
Yes.
KPM.
Yes.
I say yes. Ravenstone.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Cool. We are adjourned as of 8:08 p.m. Thank you, folks. That was nice and quick. 7 minutes. The BoD meeting. It was a lot of stuff. Don't worry about it, Ada. Really, it was paper pushing, bureaucratic stuff. All right, welcome, folks, to the Council of Crowns meeting for. It is still May 14th. We're starting at 8:00. I'm going to call it 8. It just switched to 9, but let's keep it at 8. 8:08 p.m. Is Gwen here? Is Astriana here? Don't see her in the list. Okay, we'll skip item number 1. We might come back to it if she pops in, but I could also give a brief rundown of some things. So, crown quals. Pretty much everybody is probably familiar with the post that I made. I think I'm going to go forward with putting this out to you guys. It's welcome to be discussed by any of the CoC or people in the chat if they'd like to, but I would like to propose that we nix the requirement of crown quals for those running for office in this upcoming term. So there will not be a requirement to compete and score in crown quals for the upcoming reign. Does anybody have any concerns or anything about that? Any drastic steering shifts on that? Should we just go straight to a vote?
The only thing I'd like to say is that I'd still like crown quals to still be there, not to say that we aren't doing them, but to still have the cultural event for those who want to apply for it, and for those who are still going to participate in that event if we have it, that the Hydra still is an award that you can get regardless of whether or not you're running for office.
So, full disclosure, I have poked at the Regents Council already, and in preparation for this happening, I've kind of dumped them with the following directive, which is, and if they're listening, it seems like at least a couple of them are online today. The directive that I might refine slightly when I actually write it out to you guys is going to be roughly this. Basically what John says, it will not be crown quals because it is not qualifying anybody to run for office, but I would like an ANS event where people are competing that is as close and similar to a format as traditionally crown quals is held, and I would like a kingdom level version or competition for those events that can be held in the same date timeline as generally crown quals are held, or we can be a little bit flexible with that, especially for the kingdom level thing. We might, I know there was talk about expanding that towards Wolf's Cry as the culmination event or the target location for it. That's basically the directive. Does anybody have any concerns, questions, follow up to that?
So the kingdom level event would not take place down in Icefire Bay, then it would take place at Wolf's Cry?
Most likely. Oh, that's going to be up to the regions. I think part of the issue here is that it seems unreasonable to ask people to travel drastically for this event and traveling twice. I mean, if we're having Wolf's Cry, I don't know, it's kind of a mess. And that's why I was pushing towards the regions to see what they wanted to do. so distracting having people chat randomly. The hoo-hoo.
And then to kind of piggyback on what Abram said, so then this in July we would not have any way to qualify for a Hydra then, correct?
Hydras happen regardless of the office.
So we could enter the 7 into whatever these are and get a Hydra.
Yep, for your ladder
Yeah.
rewards.
I think I would be willing to give out a Hydra as long as they match the format close enough to our traditional Crown Qual event, with the scoring system in place. Yep.
That sounds like a good what's the word I'm looking for? Settle?
Compromise.
No. Compromise. Thank you. Yes.
Puppet is typing, but I'm betting he's really just looking for GIFs.
Did you call it GIFs?
I did just now, and you just said it too.
Thank you.
Ooh.
I would like to make a motion that we, as a organization, refer to GIF, quote unquote, as GIF from now on.
It's a garbage format that nobody should be using anyways.
Second.
All right, from top to bottom, here we go.
PNG or MP4. Anyways, so let's vote on this as a COC. So I would like to have the vote reflect that we are going to remove the requirement for Crown Quals as a requirement for those running for office in this next term. And that term to begin in July, or technically it'll be August 1st of 2020. We don't need a second necessarily, so I'll just start collecting votes. Astra wins.
Sure.
Ravenstone.
Yes.
Lupin Moon.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
No.
Okay. Would you like to share anything about that? You didn't say much during the discussion portion.
I'm good.
Okay. DLC.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll say yes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses and 1 no. So that's going to move forward. All right, next item. Sorry, I'm changing some of the stuff around as we do this. All right, update on moving outside. Stephanie, are you okay with taking that one?
Yep.
Okay.
How detailed do you want me to go?
Not super detailed. Okay, I'll give a super high level thing, and then you'll see if you want to jump back in there.
No. Back
Don't want to ruin
off.
it?
I got it.
Okay.
No, don't ruin. Okay, so high level plan. We are talking about moving outside and restarting games. At this time, we are only talking about restarting regular meetings. At this point, we are not going to restart the requirements of officers having to be there, and the membership holds are going to still be in effect. I can tell you right now, we are not starting this weekend. I think there were some rumors about that we were going to open back up this weekend. To let you know, we are under the organized sports mandate. So there are quite a bit of things that we have to work out before we can actually safely meet. And that's our number one priority is we want to return out on the field, but we want to do it in a safe manner. So I've been working with the king, as well as I've started working with the different councils to kind of make them aware of how they're going to fall into this plan, as well as how they're going to be able to have to implement this, because we have to have a mitigation plan. We can't just throw on masks, go out onto the field, high-five each other and call it good. We have to follow a lot of rules in order to safely be able to do this. And that's going to be the biggest thing, is we got to write out our rules and we have to follow them. And if you are not willing to follow them, we are going to strongly encourage you to not come to games until you feel safe enough and are ready to follow the rules. There's going to be a couple waivers. A waiver we're going to have to add. Just kind of remember, we're going to have to still practice social distancing, but it'll be in a way, it depends on the situation, how we're going to implement the social distancing. So I talked with the PMs yesterday. They all seem to be fairly on board and not expressing concerns that I'm aware yet. This weekend, I'm going to meet with the GMRs and the champions, and Drake and Deli have gotten the basic plan, and they're going to work with their respective teams to be able to implement safe games. And of course, and then we'll meet with the Monarchs and then the Regents, and then we'll take it to the CoC, and then hopefully we'll be able to safely get onto the field. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that covered most of it. So yeah, there's a there's a team in place that's reviewing stuff and coming up with plans. We're hitting the councils. We have to take it pretty slowly at the moment to because there's a lot of new procedures, and it's definitely going to suck the first time we go out there. So, and like that new waiver, that new form is going to be something that basically you have to sign every single day that we do a thing. So yeah, extra fun for those folks that do Saturdays and Sundays. None of these forms transfer beyond a particular event itself, so just bear with us as we go through this.
One of the other things I can think of is if you are a mask maker, I would start making your mask. So I'm just gonna let everyone know that masks will be mandatory, so they can be the cloth masks. So now's the time to start working on them. If you need to get a hold of someone, reach out to the Regents. From what I understand, they should be able to hook you up and get you a mask. That's going to be one of the big things. So yeah, start working on your masks now if you don't have one already.
And kind of jump in on that, not to steal the thunder, but Joann's and Walmart are selling cloth masks right now. So FYI.
Yeah, that's right. I saw Aislinn's post, and I think I actually got an email from Joann's too saying that they have them. So, and I believe the Joann's in Anchorage are now open as well, and the one in Wasilla, but I believe they're on a restricted capacity. So keep that in. And also, another thing to keep in mind is once we implement and we open, these mandates are constantly changing, and they're being reevaluated and moving. So if we decide to open, let's say October 1st, I'm going to throw a date way out there, and the mandates change September 30th, and with the state shuts down, then we're out of luck and we have to revert. My hope is that it's not going to happen. Our numbers look great. The state looks great. But as we know, we're heading into tourism season, and we're heading into fishing season. And so we're getting an influx of people coming to the state, but the mandatory quarantine is still in effect for at least another 5 days. So, just bear with us. The number we have to limit group sizes, and those are always going to go in flex. So we might start with 50 people. In 2 weeks, we might be able to go to 75. In 2 weeks, we might be able to go to 100. It's just all depends on how the state governs. And then we are also stuck. Loop and Moon is going to be affected by the municipality. They tend to be running 3 days behind the state. So we'll have to keep that in mind for Loop and Moon, whereas the state might open to 100 people, but Loop and Moon's going to be stuck at 75. So we got to take all of that into account. So Just things that I've thought of that a high level that everyone's got to be aware with. We're going to be constantly working with this and constantly ebbing and flowing and going with the flow. But like I said, we want to open Amtgard safely at this point. It'd kill me if we went about this wrong. And so, yeah, if you have any questions, everyone's more than welcome to reach out to me, reach out to any of the CoC members, and they can get questions to me, Nalarian. Reach out to your Kingdom Top 5 as we've got everyone involved. So.
And so to be clear, my current plan as this goes is we're developing the action plan that the mitigation plan as Zygen described, and we're working with the councils to make sure that the procedures and policies that we're having to do can be done by the folks that are actually going to have to do the work with those. Once we have that whole plan and everybody's buy-in, I'm going to do a go, no-go vote with the Kingdom Top 5 as heads of the respective teams. And from there, if they give a go, then it will be presented as a plan and all the procedures to the CoC. And this we won't necessarily wait for another big open meeting like this to do it. It might happen as a vote and discussion behind the scenes. So I'm not trying to obscure that from you guys. I'm genuinely doing this for speed so that we can, make the decision out of sync with our regular meetings. And if that passes the go no go vote with the CoC, then we will announce times and everything else. So here's the Debbie Downer part. Just some warnings so people can keep things in perspective and keep expectations reasonable. If you are or you live with someone who is at risk, an at-risk person, we are going to strongly encourage that you not attend. And we're going to push that fairly hard. And also I'm going to not mandate that all officers attend. It is a genuine question of safety for folks. And so it is not going to be held against you if you want to make the call that it is too much of a risk for you to attend. And so and if we don't have enough officers to fill all the requirements and meet all the things that we're going to do, then it might not work out to open up for that park, that region, or even for all of Amtgard.
And I just kind of want to say on top of that, if as an officer, if you feel uncomfortable, we would kind of ask that you give us a heads up. So just as we will need to delegate your responsibilities to another person, or it's going to have to fall to the monarch or whoever, but just as a courtesy, let us know so we can plan properly, because I think you already said this, but if we don't have enough officers to help and get good safe games going, we have to cancel park day that day.
Oh, and that might be a thing. And I don't want any peer pressure. I don't want anybody forcing anybody to attend. And so if I catch whiffs of that, I'll be grumpy, and grumpy things might happen. But we don't want to be forcing anybody to do anything that they feel is unsafe. We're opening, this is a leisure activity. That's important. Everybody needs their leisure activities, but when aren't you a grump? When my daughter says she loves me and asks for a hug. Yeah, see? When the 3-year-old is nice to me, it wins me over. But otherwise, yeah. All right, I lost my train of thought. That's kind of where we are with the COVID-19 stuff. It's we're not rushing into this. It's not this weekend. It's most likely not the weekend after. But I'm not even going to say a date. We'll see. We'll see as things come together.
October 1st. There's your date.
Yeah, watch the country close again by then.
Got it.
Anybody have anything else? Any other CoC want to say anything? I see that Astriana has joined us in the chat. Does she have anything she want to say for the ambassador report today?
Bicycles.
There, I undid the server mute. I don't know if that was what was blocking you. Yeah, you're not muted now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so there were 3 votes that were put forth for the CoC or COM this week. The first one being a decision needs to be made on approving the person that the AIBOD put forth to fill the position of XCOM. If you go to the AmpGuard Monarchs page, you can actually find the information about that person and see if that's something. I'm asking the CoC to let me know what their feelings are on approving that person and whether
You cut it.
that vote is due tomorrow. So I want to make sure that that gets taken care of. Then the second, or any discussion on.
You cut out there.
Any discussion on the vote for the new XCOM?
So the new XCOM was what was her name? Jennifer? Am I getting that right?
Yes, yes. And her information, I posted to the Facebook page with information about, with her whole resume and everything on there. So if you want to take a moment to look that up, that would be great. If you have any questions, you can just ask me about it. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time right now for folks to read through that. But if you have questions, feel free to ask. I don't know her, but if anybody does know them personally, feel free to speak up.
I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody, but the folks that I've seen nationally that were assessing the candidates at the time, it was plural, were seemed to be happy with like her qualifications and her as a person. There was no, I didn't see anything that was a big red flag about her. The only discussion really just came down to, well, they wanted somebody else to also be on the vote, but that person has since rescinded their application or their bid for the position. So it's just one candidate left at this point for the position. And I at this point, I personally don't see any reason to vote against her stepping up. But if anybody has any information or suggestions or questions, it sounds like we'll want to get those ASAP because the vote is due, I think Estriana said tomorrow. So
if the CoC wants to let me know how to vote, that would be great.
Okay. All right. It's looking like a consensus of yes, but we'll verify that. We can do that right now. Let's just run it down. I've got everybody in the chat. Astra wins.
Can I go second?
Okay. Ravenstone.
Yes.
Lupin Moon.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
DLC.
Yes.
Astra wins. I didn't make you go second. I made you.
Yes.
Okay. And I think a yes at this point. So, yeah, there's your answer.
Thank you.
Go. Anything else for this evening?
Yes, there was also a vote that then got rescinded. I believe it was posted to the Northreach page regarding the Facebook page. And so they have pulled that vote in order to have more discussion and to figure some stuff out, because one of the big hitches in the giddy up with that was the wording in the proposal. So the Facebook page, turn the Facebook page into two Facebook pages, one being a outward-facing Facebook page for advertisement, and then one being a discussion page that would be set to private. And the reason for that was to funnel everybody towards the marketing page when they first enter AmpGuard, and if they want to join the discussion page and be a part of that discussion, they can. Both groups have about 7 or more than 7,000 members already, and so it was a matter of trying to figure out marketing. But there's hitches in the way that marketing is done on Facebook, so they're trying to figure all of that out, and they're also trying to figure out how to do the discussion page without it appearing to be secret, because that's not the intention of all the discussion with the COM. The intention is to try and have a marketing platform that has mostly events and whatnot, because if anybody knows AmpGuard, you know that we do terrible at marketing. So they're trying to figure that out. So if anybody has suggestions, feel free to go on to that page, read up, not just hearsay, read up on what's actually being said on the COM page. And then from there, if you have things that you would like to be discussed and whatnot at the COM meeting, let me know. And I'm happy to go to the COM and bring up any concerns.
Yeah, definitely encourage folks to take a look at that national AmpGuard discussion group and contribute if you've got, ideas, or at least like certain ones that you think are good, and help shift the discussion. Anything else for this evening? Sorry, that question was directed at Astriana.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with the push. It doesn't like me. So there was one more vote put forth for the Circle of Monarchs. I'm sorry, were those comments towards me?
The discussion in the chat, I don't think anything's directed at you at the moment.
Okay, and then the other one I posted to the Northreach page, which is they're looking for 2 members to fill seats in the AIBOD, which is coming up for vote. If you are interested, those are due by June 20th, and the voting happens in July. And the candidates have to be put forth 30 days prior. And so if you are interested in being on the AIBOD, the national BOD, then you need to put your information as soon as possible. Send it to me and I'll pass it up the chain. Be prepared to answer lots of questions about why that would be a good fit for you going into it. And if you have any more questions about it, like kind of expectations and whatnot, I can point you in the right direction for more information.
Oh my, the chat's just flying off the rails. Okay. Anything else for tonight, Astriana?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right, thank you so much for doing that work and keeping up with them. They have bursts of excitement and activity, and it's hard to sometimes keep track of all that. So appreciate the help.
Not a problem.
All right. So next thing on the agenda, the Northreach auction. We briefly kind of brainstormed about it and discussed it very briefly a week or a few weeks back. And this was the idea that I brought forth about hosting or running a silent auction, kind of similar in format to what we do for Food Fight. Now, this is unrelated to Food Fight. I only mentioned the Food Fight stuff. I've said it 3 times. To give you guys an idea of the format in your head. It has nothing to do with that, and we don't need to be making donations. We're not stealing anything from the name, etc., etc. But the idea is basically an online auction where the crafters are able to put up things, and the things that they put up are donations basically to the group, and then people can compete and bid for those donations, and that money would then go to the Northreach bank account to help offset the fact that we're having a very rough year with our lack of fundraisers and external activities because of the shutdowns. And so let's go ahead and put this as you give us the monies. Let's put this as a vote to they're going off the rails. Don't ask what's happening. They're all crazy. Let's put this as a vote to the CoC. Would you guys support and approve this idea as I've described it? We can figure out the fine details as we get closer to it, but I would like to propose that we run that auction June 14th through June 27th. That's a 2-week long period. at the end of June. And yeah, so just throw that out there to the groups, and we'll either when I call your group, when I call your name, you can either just give a blank yes, or if you have comments or just stuff to talk about, feel free to use that as a platform. So pop it. Astro wins.
Yes.
Okay. Ravenstone.
Yes, I got cookies to get rid of.
There you go. Yeah, I've got like Lego stuff to get rid of too. Anyways, Lupin Moon.
Hey, hickeys.
It was my idea, so yes.
Okay.
It wasn't my idea.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Just a yes. Okay. DLC.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll roll with this is gonna happen, and I will probably go steal the rules that I lightly edited for another similar event last September, and we'll see what makes sense, what works, and then get stuff posted and shared with you guys. So for all you crafty types that like donating and doing awesome things, the target dates are June 14th through June 27th. It's a tight 2-week period where we'll concentrate what we're doing, but you all have been warned. And then it's great practice for when the real thing happens in September.
Yep. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm already kind of prepping to see about making for that.
Oh man, you still owe me.
I do still owe you. Damn these mandates, huh?
That is all I had on the list for today's open CoC meeting. So it's the next thing being the populist questions and concerns. If there's anything besides feet pics.
I'm not muted. Sorry.
You're not muted.
Can't we like? That's just wrong. We just need to like nix that. It's bad.
The feet pics? Yeah. You guys thought GIF was bad.
No, I'd rather have feet pics over GIF every day of my life.
You never know who you're gonna run into with this because I usually say GIF.
Thank God.
And
say
then
it right.
somebody comes in and corrects me and I have to hear a long thing. And so really the format is garbage. It's way too old and it's
Sorry, I mean thank God. My bad. You're right.
yeah, well. I'm just so over arguing with people about anything, but
This
yeah,
is worth it.
The thing. Well, I'm not sure what Astriana's pointing out, but you might have to be less cryptic. But there was a thing that I wanted to throw out to you guys, and her question that doesn't make sense to me, but reminded me about the other one. There are a lot of edits, a lot of all things that have passed since the last time I updated the admin manual and the corpora, which are 2 separate files, by the way. Actually, it's or like half a dozen separate files but anyways, the point is I'm looking for somebody and hoping that somebody with some expertise and the software available, because I'm pretty sure that you need well, at least Office 365 or Word, a current version of Word. Please don't try to do it in like Word 2013 or something older. I don't know if we're ready for that yet.
Focus.
But no Word 2010. Anyways, I need somebody that has some time and the skill and the software available to do the edits and incorporate the edits, kind of poke through our all thing page, grab the ones that have been approved, and properly make the edits and insert them into the file. And if they have Acrobat Pro, then create and fix up the final PDF versions. So please message me if you are such an individual. Yeah, people have used the Google Docs thing. It's also a mess. If you can do it, so the file itself is screwed up because one set of people has used Google Docs, one set of people has used Word. I tried to do it in Google Docs last time. It's screwed with the formatting changes. Unless you're going to go through and really redo the whole thing in one format, I had the best luck at the end of the day using Word. So that's why I'm making that call. If you want to volunteer and you want to take a look at it in Google Docs, okay. Anyways, and cool. Give you a copy of the file, and if you produce something that's awesome and that actually generates the PDF properly, then we'll roll with it. So that was the big thing. I don't think we're ready for the other thing yet because there was no discussion or planning for it beforehand, and I'm not gonna do that ad hoc. I want to do that properly. So, anybody have anything else? No.
Nope, I'm pretty much clear.
Yeah, there's a few people typing, so
They're all talking about feet. Let's get out of here.
should we just get out of here? Get on to the next portion. There's a long night ahead of the rest of the folks, so the
I appreciate the.
Oh, you challenged me to burn everything down by 9 a.m. All right, I got things to do, people.
burn ban starts. Oh my god, yeah, we're getting out of this chat.
Oh no! Oh god!
Thank you, Ruben.
Who dare? Who dare put that on my feed?
That's proven.
All right, we got one more thing to add to the agenda for the closed session.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna close the stream.